This is the Imperfect Myth. A lot of wind out here today, so I'm going to talk extremely loud. Try to override some of this wind. And what I want to discuss today, right here and right now, is loving oneself. Loving oneself. And I love myself. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't always, an easy transition, you know what I mean? There were times when I may have doubted myself. There were times when I may have, looked at myself sideways because I made a mistake. There were times when, I may have doubted myself or questioned myself because I didn't always get it right. And I've learned through the course of time, through, the clock making its move and time moving forward and keeping it moving the way I do, that's the way to really have true self-love is to continue to believe in oneself, is to honor certain parts of you that you may feel are not always up to par. I always felt like, I had so much to offer myself, let alone a queen, myself. And I like me, man. I like me. There were times that I could not have said that. You know what I mean? There were times that I've said out loud to myself, you know what I mean? I didn't like me. I did not like me, because I just felt like, I didn't like my weaknesses. I felt like I hadn't, gotten stronger with with a lot of my strengths. I felt like, that I had, was kind of, and this is a fact, this is true right here. I was very vulnerable. I always left myself being very vulnerable, to people. Always, man, and not that I was a doormat, but I wasn't far from it. We all have our gifts. And sometimes, you put your gifts out there, and in return, what you get is, some of the, leftover, stuff that you wouldn't take on your worst day. You know what I mean? And so, life is like that, you know what I mean? And then what I meant by that was attitudes, by, it did not come back in my favor. That's what I meant by that. I want to get that clear. But the thing is that, through the course of time, and I'll be honest with you, it took me to run into a serious brick wall. And I've had brick walls in my life. I've had stumbles. I've had, situations occur in my life and whatnot. And some, I don't know, but it could have endured, you know what I mean? But the thing is that what really turned the tides for me is running into that brick wall, and being hurt, you know what I mean? Feeling some deep pain. And life hit me hard, man. It hit me hard at one time. And when it hit me, it is not so much I didn't know what to do. I was just so overwhelmed to a point that even with me being someone who thinks a lot, only thing I could think of was that pain. That's all I could think of, man. For a long period of time. I just hadn't experienced nothing on that level before. And, you look at yourself hard and you wonder, where did you make your mistakes? Once again, here you are leaving yourself vulnerable, all these things, and you're coming down on yourself hard. And so, could I have said I love myself at that point? And the answer is no. No way. No way could I have done that, but I can do it now. I can do it now emphatically, you know what I mean? That's a strong wind today, right? Weather. Always something to interfere and try to block your blessings. Always something to try to interfere with you, making something happen. But you have to make your mind up that nothing is going to stop you. Nothing is going to stop you because nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to keep on pressing forward. I'm going to keep on rising. I'm going to keep on sharing in the glory of this God thing. I'm going to ride it out. And so I'm going to keep on, pushing forward, man. Keep on building a stronger me. And that's the thing that really kind of pushed me over the hump. When I ran into that brick wall, I was forced to stop for the first time in my life. I was forced to stop you know, and breathe for a minute. I was forced to stop and say, what just happened? I was forced to stop and say, okay, I got to do something different. I got to make a different move. I got to make a lot of different moves. And it all starts within. And so I had to, you know, clean out all the junk, get myself together, you know, straighten myself up, you know what I mean? And I'm not a really emotional person when it comes to certain things. So that was not an issue, but what was an issue was still a devastated heart, because I had to accept that all these things that occurred to me at one time, and there was nothing I can do about it. There was nothing I can do about it. And it was a very hard pill to swallow. It was, man, you know, because, you know, if you think that you're trying to do things right, you're trying to follow a certain pattern, you're trying to follow a certain plan, and all of a sudden, you know, things get thrown in the mix of that, and all of a sudden the plan is messed up. You know, the thing you call yourself trying to do, be this person you're trying to be, kind of got, you know, didn't fare so well. You know, then you kind of feel some type of way. And I had to, you know, straighten all that up and stand myself up like a man and get it together. And so, you know, here I am. And even now, you know, I face challenges, I face things, you know, and I'll be honest with you, the more and more I get closer to who I am, back to who I am, you know, talk about being different. In the last video, talk about normal versus being different. Well, I'm different. A lot of you are different. And when we try to, you know, fall in line with societal standards and try to be normal, how does that ever work out for us? It doesn't. You always have to be yourself. And the more and more I gravitate to being myself, then the higher and higher I'm going to climb. The better and better life going to be, the best life I'm going to live. So I'm just continuing to follow that path and, you know, be able to say what I can say right now is I love myself. I love myself. I like me. You know what I mean? I like me. I do. And I still got some growing to do. Still got a lot of growing to do. A lot of growing to do, man. Because loving myself and liking myself is good. But I want to like myself a lot more. You know, I got to make up for a lot of years. I want to love myself a lot more because I got to make up for a lot of years. I want to, you know, be even more prouder of myself because I got to make up for a lot of years. So I got a lot of work to do, you know, but this is more than a beautiful start. It's something amazing, So I always know if you want great love, you got to love yourself first. You got to be able to lay out a roadmap so someone know how to love you. Otherwise, you're just going to keep getting standbys. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting situations after situations that, you know, waste your time and years and things of that nature. And I don't have years and time to waste and give away. I don't. And so it was very important that I get me in check so that I make sure that my time is valued by not just me, but by anyone that, you know, comes to the portal of my life. So, you know, self-love, man. Self-love, man. You know, being able to say that I love myself is a way much better place to be. And I love it, man. I love it. And it's wonderful, you know, and feels good. But again, until I'm living my whole best life, I'm not going to be satisfied. I got work to do. Even when I finish this video, believe you, I'm going to go put work in, you know, work hard to try to get towards closer and closer to my best life. And I get closer and closer every minute. I get closer and closer every day. But, you know, I need to get there soon. So I got to work harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. I got to work harder than the next man. I got to work harder than the next woman. I got to work harder than, you know, the executive in the office. I got to work harder than the CEO. I got to work harder than, you know, probably anyone on the planet to get what I want in life. I got to work hard. And so, therefore, I'm ready to do that, and I'm constantly doing that each and every day, each and every minute of each and every day. You know, constantly thinking about my future, constantly thinking about my now. You know, thinking about what I do today is going to affect my tomorrow. So I'm always trying to be on today, and today I'm saying out loud to the world, I love me. I love me. I like myself. This is on point. It's a good feeling. I want you to have that feeling if you don't, man. If you've ever, questioned yourself or doubted yourself or ever felt some type of way about yourself because you didn't always get it right, there is no perfect. There is no perfect. And you got to understand, for me to say that is a huge statement because I didn't realize I was chasing perfection. I didn't realize that. It took a long time for me to realize I was chasing perfection. I wanted perfection. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted everything I do to be perfect, everything I say to be perfect, everywhere I come to be perfect, everybody to see me in some type of way, that might be considered perfect in my mind. Weird, that last part, right? Because you can't control what other people see. But see, I always try to keep it genuine. Try to keep it genuine. But see, genuine is not always a perfect recipe, on the other end. That's what I meant by that. Always a perfect recipe, being genuine. I'm always going to be that. But you can't always expect that on the other end, that's going to be received as something, magnanimous. You know what I mean? And so that was another pill I had to swallow, And so, hey, life is what it is. I always stay in the real world. I always stay in the real world. And in the real world, on this day, at this time, I love me. I like me. Yes, everything about me, flaws and all. Take me as I am or don't take me at all. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make adjustments for other human beings. I make adjustments for me. I got work to do, but that's going to be for me. That's going to be my call. That's going to be, to make me feel better about me and make sure that I can grow and build on this love, this light, this proud thing, That's all it's about for me. So, wishing you God's grace, wishing me God's grace, and each and every day continue to grow. It's the Imperfect Meal. Holla.